Our podcast is on your journey in music and how you got to where you are now.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Well, right as of literally right now, I'm making myself a Stouffer's mac and cheese, which I have to put in the microwave for 18 minutes, which is just
Wow.
an absurd amount of time.
That's a lot of time for some macaroni and cheese.
So that's where my artistic journey has led me.
To Stouffer's?
Yeah,
Uh,
to this ridiculously big family-sized Stouffer's.
That's amazing.
Uh,
Whereabouts are you in the world, in the country?
I am right now in Los Angeles. I live in a house with a bunch of my friends, with like a bunch of friends and musicians and artists and
That's rad.
non-musicians and artists too. But I usually live in well, I don't. I guess I don't usually live. I was raised in New Jersey. I was born in England, and then I moved here. Um, and
Wow. You were born in England. How long were you in
born,
England
yeah.
for?
I was in England for until I was like 5. So like I don't have a ton of memory from it, but that's where the name Kid Hastings comes from because I was born in a town called Hastings.
Ah, okay. Right
Yeah,
on. And with
but
that, like, so 5, were you involved in music at all yet at 5 years old? Or were you one of those kids that your parents threw in piano lessons at 2 or?
5, yeah, 5. I don't think I was. I don't think I had broken into the music game yet.
Okay.
I was just too worried about like like the alphabet, I guess.
Yeah.
But I
Worried
got
about
like
learning how to write your name and all that fun stuff.
yeah, all that trivial stuff. But I think I got into I guess I got into like music when I started singing in choirs. I guess I was probably in like elementary school, and from there it was a lot of choir singing, and then I kind of got into like jazz and jazz singing. Sang in like swing groups a lot, and then did like theater. This was all like middle school, high school, and then in high school I started writing my own music after being like exposed to like the underground rock scene in New Jersey, which is sick, and like I like house show scene, um, but and yeah, and then since then I've just been like writing. It all started out writing like rock, kind of like indie rock kind of shit.
Sure.
Um, there's just kind of been like an evolution since then, but I think I still have that as like the core tenet of my, I guess, music.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, there's so many rad bands out of Jersey. Like what were you listening to?
Um, the band Pine Grove,
Oh,
I used
yeah.
to be they were like they were like I was super into them, especially when they were really small and just doing shows in like Montclair, which is like a little town in Jersey. There's this place called the Meat Locker, which is this really shitty venue. This like dark and like dingy basement venue. Um, but oh, sorry, I'm gonna
No
turn that
worries.
off. I have the shittiest ringtone of all time. Um, but yeah, they had a really it was really cool. It was a cool place. Definitely weird. But yeah, them and then like I'm trying to remember some other ones. There was this band called the Planet U, which was this like math rock band from Jersey, which were like
Nice.
they did these shows. They called themselves like Death Jazz. Um, and, and it was like this like math rock, which was like super heavy. And their shows, they would just go like insane and like writhe around on the ground and like play these like just guitar solos that were like just like stupidly intricate and like yeah, it was really cool though. It was really interesting.
That's amazing. Well, what was the first instrument you learned? Guitar?
Yeah, for well, actually, my I did get piano lessons when I was very young, but then I kind of like I just wasn't really that into it. And then the first instrument that I actually really enjoyed, other than like singing, was guitar. And I started when I was in like middle school, but then I actually really got into it in high school. Probably
Okay.
when I was like 15.
When did you start writing songs? At 15?
Probably like 17. Probably like junior year of high school. I wrote a song called Medusa and put it on SoundCloud. Um, and that was like an indie rock kind of song, which is now gone, scrubbed clean from the internet.
Scrub clean from the.
Uh,
Did you
yeah.
perform Medusa out at all? Like, were you in a band at all?
Yeah, I was in a I was actually in a me and a few of my friends we started a Grateful Dead cover band that would play at like
Whoa.
bars and like would play at bars and like we played like house shows and in this venue in my town my town in Jersey called Mondo, which is just like this little like venue with like shops and then like a cool basement where people would put on shows. But we played like a ton of Grateful Dead stuff. Because and all the kids in the band were also my friends from jazz. And so like it was basically just a bunch of jazz kids playing like rock and Grateful Dead music. And so it was sick. And they would go and we would do like 20-minute jam sessions at these like bars, and people would be like, "What is this?"
Who
But
was
it
into
like
were you into the Grateful Dead? Like who decided on that this cover band? That's
it
fascinating.
was honestly my friend Scotty McGraw was super into Grateful Dead, and he honestly got me into it too. Just
Mhm.
like the kind of long jams, and like the songwriting, I think is just sick, and just like the ease of like learning the songs and then just being able to play them for like so long, like Fire on the Mountain and like
Mhm.
Shakedown Street and Deal and uh, Truckin' and like all that shit.
So wow. So how long were you in the Dead cover band? Did you guys do that for a while?
It was probably like a I want to say like a year or like a year and a half. Probably a year and a half actually, because it went through two iterations because I was at one point I was a junior and we had like the guitarist was also a junior, my friend Cosimo, and then but then there were a few seniors in it like Scotty and the drummer, and then we got a new drummer and bassist when they left. So probably like a year and a half. We didn't play a ton of shows, but definitely the highlight was a show that we played at my house that I invited that we just got like tons of kids. Like it was like 50 or 60 kids over in my basement, and it was so fun. And we got like and we played just like we had like a ridiculous set. Like we played like Them Changes by Thundercat. We played yeah, we what else did we play? We played the Drake and Josh theme song. Like I never thought it would be so simple, but um and yeah, and then some kid came in. We got some kid to like walk down the stairs of the basement during one of the songs, just ripping this like saxophone solo, and it was just like walking through the party with this like baritone sax, just like ripping it. It was sick. I can't remember what song it was now, but it might have even been the Drake and Josh song. I can't remember now.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
from there, how'd you get to Los Angeles? Like, where did you always pursue music? I mean, you said you're in choir and chorus quite a bit. Like, did that
Yeah, I
take you
went
here
to
for school, or like, how'd you get out to LA?
school. So I go to USC right now.
Oh, okay.
I take classes now, um, and that's how I've met like all my friends now in music and kids I live with, and then like my kind of my management and shit as well. We're all just very close friends. Um, but yeah, I came out here for school, um, doing
For music?
studying like yeah, doing like it's called like the programming is like music business, and so I'm just trying to
Okay.
like make sure I don't get like fucked over,
Yeah, it's
just
probably a good idea.
find knowledge in there. Um, but yeah, no, it's great. And then like it's fun because you can like I mean it's in the music school, and so like I just get to hang out with all the music kids and um, but then also get kind of like a more practical, I guess, tool like practical skill set. Um, as opposed to just learning music. Not against like learning music in school. I just kind of feel like I kind of know what I want to do at this point.
When did you start Kid Hastings?
Um, Kid Hastings was started in like originally it was just Hastings, and then I realized the Google ability of that was horrible because there's like a town,
Sure.
there's like a steel company called Hastings,
You're
so
like
it
on page
became Kid.
30 of Google.
Yeah, find Kid Hastings on Spotify. Like it's like you got to go through so many pages. But yeah, that was probably right before I came to college, so like two and a half years ago.
Okay.
And then I put out a few singles, and then I put out my first EP right at the end of 2019. And since then, I've just been working on this new project that I'm going to be putting out. The whole thing is going to come out a little bit further down the line in like probably like April or something, or April or May. But this is the first single for that.
The
that's
one
coming
that's
out tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. What's the song? Tell me about the song.
It's called "Call Me Up," and it is. I wrote it kind of a while ago, but the song is about this like rebound relationship that I was in that only lasted for about a week, which had come right after the end of the first kind of serious relationship I was in, which lasted like 2 years. And this song came right after I got broken up with for the second time in this like week-long relationship, and I just had like a super like I was just super torn up by it, and I think it was kind of like also due to some kind of like latent anguish that came from that first relationship that had like carried itself over to this second one. But it just like fucking broke me for some reason. And so this song is kind of about it's kind of like a plea to like return to that kind of like momentary like glimmer of happiness that was coming from that relationship. And then also just kind of a testament to like the confusion that I kind of had about like what I wanted and where my head was at, and kind of like an identity crisis. And so that's kind of reflected in like especially like the soundscape of the song, where it's very switches back and forth between like very like ethereal and lush sometimes, and then more like crunchy and glitchy and weird. And then the lyrics are kind of like about like the specific kind of like what actually happened was like skating down a road at like sunset, and picturesque, got my heart thrown in the gutter, and then during that like skateboard ride, and that's kind of about that's what the song is more literally about. Yeah,
very cool. And then you said that's gonna be part of the project coming out later down like in April or so, you said?
Yeah, that's coming out. Well, so that song is coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And then
the record.
Yeah, and then
the record.
Yeah, the whole project is called Off Guard, which kind of is a testament to like my whole kind of Call Me Up, I guess, is like a trailer to the feelings of kind of like getting knocked off your feet and being kind of confused. That's kind of like a similar theme to the whole rest of the project. Yeah, that's gonna come out later in like a few months.
And the first record you put out was Golden. Was that the first full length or EP that you put out?
Yeah, that was the first EP that had a few of the singles that I'd put out on it. And that was about just kind of like leaving home, leaving New Jersey, and kind of grappling with that. And this one is kind of coming from more of a place of just more of a I don't know, more of a place of like being off guard. I guess is the best way to describe it.
With Golden, like, did you put that record out when you were in Los Angeles? I mean, you said it's about the like coming from Jersey to here, and then were you able to play the record out quite a bit, or like tell me about performing in LA?
Yeah, that is definitely something that I think about and get sad a lot.
Sure. I mean, currently.
It was going so, yeah, currently. It was going like super well with shows, and we had I had like 3 or 4 shows lined up in like March and that spring. And then, you know, COVID, and I was going to play them with we just had some really cool stuff lined up, like an art gallery show. I was playing with my friend Kyle Lux, who was sick and so talented. And then another with this dude named May, who's this really cool kind of like indie rock pop singer-songwriter, and also a friend too. And we're just gonna play these shows in like just to kind of like these, like one was at an art gallery, one was at one was gonna be a house show. But yeah, we'd done a few house shows around USC, which we had sold out, and got shut down by the police for both of them, but at like a fine time. Like, you know, only one of them got shot down at a shitty time because it was like right before my friend Kyle went on, and we were bummed out about that. But it was for a good reason, because we had like packed this house. We had packed this like outdoors, and like there were like lines going out onto the road, and so then the police got called and they shut it down, and they were being huge dicks about it. Just
No
really
way.
with their dicks in their hand, just being like, "Kids, get out of here!" Like bullshit. But
that's funny.
So we're hoping for more of those, but then they got shut down, unfortunately. But coming back in a big way, hopefully, when everyone gets vaccinated.
Yeah, definitely. Well, tell me about like where were you when everything shut down? Were you writing this new record, or was the record finished? Where were you at?
I think a lot of the record had been written, and then kind of only 2 songs on the record actually came out of like quarantine. The other 4 were all actually before that. And also, I just remembered about my mac and cheese. It might be just burning the house down right now. But yeah, this microwave actually broke because it doesn't have a timer anymore, so it just goes indefinitely, which is so bad.
Yeah, that's scary. Cooking with Kid Hastings.
Yeah, right. This is the subtitle of this episode. But I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was saying before.
I was just curious about where were you at with COVID? You said you had some of the songs written, some of them 2 of them came out of quarantine.
Yeah. So they were mostly a lot of them were written. I took a pretty long break from like writing and music kind of during quarantine, just to kind of like reflect on like myself and kind of just pick up some new hobbies and I just kind of learned to cooking. I'm actually really Stouffer's mac and cheese. I made a really good pasta last night. Or like 2 nights ago, like a bacon carbonara.
Wow,
fantastic.
Pasta's your thing. Mac and cheese. So you got that.
Yeah, it's a good foundation to start with. But yeah, and then the so I just a lot of that time just went to like tweaking the music a lot, kind of figuring out where we wanted the creative and the art direction to go with it. Quarantine, everything kind of inspired like a very like absurdist angle to the art direction, and it's gonna kind of like reveal itself over the course of the project, but there's definitely some interesting kind of like art coming with it, and like cover art and album art, and then also this the videos that are coming out, and the video for Call Me Up especially too is pretty weird, which I'm pretty excited about.
Were these videos that you were able to put together like with, during this whole thing? I know there's like, it's hard to get like crews together and shoot music videos and stuff. So how are you able to kind of get around that?
Just doing it with like my friends and the people who are kind of like in my bubble already.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, the one for Call Me Up, we did in like November, at this little like this like abandoned theater type place, and it's like a story of this like it's a story of this kind of like cabaret burlesque performer, which is like me performing to this very old woman, who's the person in the crowd, and it's about this like really intimate sexual tension between us that's going on. And like and just kind of like, and she's like eating this like raw steak, and like it kind of builds, and she's like super masculine, and like and there, it's like it's cut with scenes of us doing this like interpretive dance with each other, and then like at the kind of the climax of the video, her husband comes in, and then it's like a fight scene between me and her husband, who is also just me, to represent that kind of like identity crisis.
Are you the woman as well? Are you all the characters in the video?
No, I'm the performer and the husband, but I'm not the old woman.
Okay.
the old woman is actually played by the director, who's Ava, who's one of my really good friends. Is her mom.
Oh, cool.
Which is a fun dynamic on the set. um, but yeah, and then it ends with me murdering the husband, and then me and the mom dragging the body off, and then that's the video.
I love that. I can't wait to see it. Does that come out tomorrow as well with the song, or is that going to be a
Yeah.
little bit later down the line?
That comes out with the song tomorrow. Yeah.
Rad. Really cool. I can't wait to check it out, man. And so you got the record coming out in April. What are you doing as far as like promoting it? I mean, obviously you're not out playing shows. Are you doing Instagram live, like TikTok stuff? Like, what do you have going on?
Yeah, a lot of TikTok stuff. I really like TikTok. Today I posted a TikTok about it's like a love letter to Nancy Pelosi, like a slow jam about wanting to get it on with Nancy Pelosi, and there's just kind of a lot of that on my TikTok. And then like Instagram, and I like TikTok a lot more than Instagram because I think that TikTok has a lot less I don't know. Instagram at this point feels like there's a lot of kind of social norms that you have to adhere to.
Sure.
And like there's a very kind of like, you can post this and you should use these captions, and you should, do all this stuff that is kind of in the Instagram playbook, I guess. But like on TikTok, it's kind of free reign. You can do whatever you want.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So was TikTok something you kind of got way into during quarantine? I know a lot of people that was like, they downloaded it like in the beginning, and now it's like their go-to.
Like, yeah, honestly, I definitely go through waves of using it, which are like, what I would do was like, I would like use it like really hardcore for like a few weeks at a time, and then get like a couple good viral videos, and then I would like stop for like months, and then I would go back to it and do the same thing, and then I would stop again for months, but I just keep on going back. I'm trying to develop a more consistent relationship with it, because I get like I think it's so fun to use, but then like I'll get really into it for like a week, and then I'll like forget to post anything for like 2 months.
That was a cool scene though. Like, I mean, seeing a viral success, that's pretty rad, right? Like, do you remember
it's
the
fun.
first video that kind of like went wild?
Yeah, the first video that went wild was this video of me doing the Say So dance, and the caption was like, I was just doing it like really angrily, and the caption was like, my bitch 8-year-old cousin doesn't think I can do this dance better than her, like prove her wrong, and so that one did pretty well, which I thought was funny, and then I did well, and I was like, damn, that's so funny because I totally didn't expect it to. I feel like anyone who makes TikTok is never like, yeah, this is gonna do well.
Right. Or if you're thinking that way, it probably isn't gonna do well. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very cool, dude. Well, I can't wait to see this video. It sounds wild, like and hilarious.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to hear the new song. And weird. There you go. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. I have
thank you so much.
Yeah. I have one more question for you. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Yeah, I guess I am an aspiring artist, honestly. But I guess
you've
advice,
got management, you got videos out. You're not really aspiring much anymore, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh, I guess that makes me feel good. But I'd probably say don't hit up people who you like really admire and want to work with until you're really comfortable with your own sound and the music that you make, because I think that if you're hitting up people that you want to work with the intention of carving out your style with them, I think that maybe you might not be so inclined to make your own music, and make your own, and like, be an individual, and you might not even be in the place where once you actually get in contact with this person, you want to show the music that you currently have to them, because maybe you want to work with them later on down the line once you've figured out something really interesting. I definitely had that happen to me, where I was like hitting up these people who I really admire, and then just like looking kind of like an idiot at the end of it, because I was like, yo, like let's work, like. But then I'm like, I should have just been using that energy to like, you know, work on my own shit and like actually kind of carve out my own lane. But I wish someone had said that to me back when I was doing that. But
I love
yeah.
that.
But then when you actually get kind of like a good collaborator, then it's awesome.
Bringing it backward.